Hey, computer science principles, code ninjas. This is Mr. Hicks. Before we go into project 7.03, I want to debrief the first two projects for HTML web page design. Um, the first project, let me click on this project page. So we basically took the ideas from Codecademy, which we started in class, and hopefully you had a chance to look at. And then built a basic web page. So I kind of took you through this page here, and then here are the specs for the project. If you haven't watched the video for 7.01, it is right here on the overview page. I would watch that. I take you basically through making that first web page. And let me show you what it looks like. Basically, here is the HTML code. If you're worried about, wow, look at all that text, I didn't actually type that. I went to the Star Wars Episode 7 Wikipedia page, and I basically lifted this paragraph. Whoops. I clicked a link on accident. So I lifted this paragraph and just used it as some content. When you make your pages, you can type in original content or get something off Wikipedia or something. The main thing is we're working on formatting the page. Okay. So notice here is the paragraph. Let me go ahead and run it. Okay, and I get my web page over here. For a better look, in the far right, you go to open a new tab, and you could see the page itself. Up here where it says Star Wars, that is heading 1, the H1 tag. For each movie, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, those are the H2 tags. Notice they're slightly smaller. And in the new lesson, I could style these differently. Okay, this right here is the whole paragraph for Force Awakens. And it was really kind of, when you read something in a book, a paragraph's fine, but what on a web page, you kind of want to break it up because it's harder to read long paragraphs on a screen. So I just want to show you some things. Let me go back to the code for a better look. Right here in the middle, I added some BR, which are line breaks. So notice after co-written and directed by J.J. Abrams, line break. Right here, you can see there's a nice line break. I did 2 BRs. One line break would just drop it to the next line. So the second line break adds basically a blank line for spacing. Okay, notice I have a hyperlink here for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Let's look at the code. So that is my anchor tag, A, and I give a hyperlink reference to that page. Okay, the strong tag is basically bold. Okay, and then I do the same for the other movies. So that was pretty much the first project. Okay, the second project is on images, and I want to debrief that a little bit more. So we're going to focus in on the image tag, and basically I wanted you to get 2 images from the web, and then 2 more local images for your website. So basically 4 images total. 2 are going to be web links and 2 are local images. So I started that project. Let's see, here it is right here. Okay, let me close out project 7.01. I don't need all the Star Wars. Okay. Let me close out those 2. All right. So basically, here is a title. Based on my heading, H1 is HTML images. So there's my web page. And then I brought in this image of these 2 guys. This is a web link. And the bottom one, I saved this image of Doug and I put it over here on the left in my images folder. Okay, so let me do that again just to finish this project to get the 4 total images. So right now I have 2. Okay, so I have Pixar's up. Let's say I want a picture of just Carl. Okay, so oh, here's young Carl. Let's maybe get that. Okay, notice in my Chrome browser when I go over here on the right, the size. Notice he's 1,000 pixels wide and 561 tall. So I can resize that on my page. So let me go over to uh, my page, and I'm going to add another um, image tag. Okay. And notice image is a self-closing tag. And now I need to put the source, SRC is short for source, equals quote, quote. Okay. And then within those quotes, I want to put the tag to the image. Let me add some alternate text while I'm here. This is basically text in case it doesn't show up. So I'm going to put young Carl as my alternate text. Okay, so let me go to this image. And what you do in most web browsers is you don't want to copy the link address. You want to copy the image address. The link address is the link to the web page where this image actually is. You want to copy the image address. So I just copied it. And let me go over here and put it right in those quotes and paste. And notice it's this really long link. There it is. So let me run it. Okay, and take a look. Okay, notice this image is really big. What I want to do is make these all the same height. So let's take a look here. And notice also on my page, these two are next to each other. So I'm going to put a line break between the Doug image and this young Carl image. So notice in the previous video, I put a break between these two images. So I'm going to put a break right in here. BR is the tag. And notice for a line break, there is no closing tag with the slash. Okay, so let me run this. Basically in Replit, every time you run it, it refreshes your browser. And notice Carl is on the next line. Okay, so let's say I want these all to be like a uniform height. Notice they all have different widths. Let's not worry about the widths. Let's make them all the same height. Okay, notice in the previous video, I resized width and height for this image. You used to have to like scale them both in the same proportion, but now turns out you only need to scale one of them. So let me just do height of 380 for the first image, and notice the width is scaled right along with it. Okay, so let me do a height of 200 and run that. Okay, so notice the image is smaller. So what I'm going to do is copy that and put that into the image tag for Doug. And now notice he has a height of 200, and in the last tag, height of 200. Okay, so now they all have the same height. Okay, let me just get one more image to load into my site. So I'm going to get the bird. I believe his name Kevin. Yep, there's Kevin. Okay, so there's kind of a cool picture of Kevin. Notice his size is width 513 and height 1,122. So I'm going to scale him. But to save a local image, you want to find an image you like, save image as, and whether you're working on Windows or Mac or a Chromebook, it will save it somewhere. So I'm going to type this as Kevin. The thing you want to avoid in HTML is spaces. So Kevin the bird, not good. You want to use single words, or if you want to do Kevin the bird, use camel case. So I'm going to type in Kevin the bird, and he should be saved to the desktop. And now over here, I want to add Kevin the bird to my website. So I'm going to upload a file. And let me look on my desktop. There's kevinthebird.jpg. So let me open that. And notice Kevin the bird is loaded into my website. Notice he's on the top level. I want to drag and drop him into the images folder. And a way to check that is click on images, and there's Kevin the bird. Okay, so let me add an image tag for Kevin the bird after these two. So I'm going to do a line break to separate them. And then the image tag, source equals quotes, alt, alternate text equals quote Kevin, and then close that tag. Okay, now in this source, this is a local image. I want to type this word in, Kevin the bird exactly. And notice it's .jpg, JPG, and run that. So let me run that, and okay, let's look at it on this view. Notice down here I have a broken link, but it does show the alternate text. The reason is this is in the images folder. So much like I did with Doug, I want to include the images folder / Kevin the bird. So let me try that, images / Kevin the bird, and run that. And let's look at the whole web page view. There he is. And notice he's so much taller than the rest. Let me give him a height of 200 also. Okay, and so I'm going to put that within the tag, a space, and then that, and run it. And then let's look on the web page and notice Kevin the bird is a height of 200 also. And then you can adjust it from there. Maybe you might want to make him a little bit bigger, but I just wanted to demonstrate how to make them all the same height. Okay, and if I want to add if I want to link to Kevin the bird to a web page, I'm going to surround him by an anchor tag. So ahref equals quotes, and then I'm going to close that, and then after the image, I'm going to close it, and href. Let me just go to get a new tab. Pixar Kevin. Let's see what comes up. Okay. So let's see what this is. Okay, here's a site about Kevin the bird. I can use that. Basically any link I want. I'm going to go to my project and paste that in there. Okay, so let me run this now and go to the web browser. And notice Kevin the bird, if I click on him, I go to that page. So anyway, that is basically project 7.02, where I have 4 images. 2 of them, Doug and Kevin the bird, are local images. So notice the source is very simple. And then 2 of them are web images that have these really long links. Generally, you want to save your images into your website, because like if I, like a year from now, if I go to this page, this link for Doug, or I guess that's young Kevin, young Carl, that might link be gone, and now all of a sudden I don't have that image anymore. So it's a good idea to save your images locally. That way they'll always be there. Okay, so we're going to build on these two for project 7.03, so take a look at that when you have a chance. Goodbye from Mr. Hicks.